Welcome to another episode of Between Love and Lessons, Unfiltered Conversations with Courtney Arlesia. Hey y'all, I'm back. So first of all, I just want to tell y'all thank you so much for all the love that y'all have been showing me. I have been getting a lot of love across all of my social media platforms. I've been seeing growth across all of my social media platforms. But when I introduced this exclusive Substack podcast, you all DM me, messaged me, shared it, was excited for it, and you all reminded me how much you love to hear my conversation, how much you love to hear my perspective, how much you love for me to introduce new concepts to you all and to pour into you all. So I just thank you all so much for that love and that support, and being excited about something new for me. You know, that excites me. And I also know it's good because the enemy wants me to be distracted by noise, and I can't stop, won't stop, you know? So this is such a beautiful experience with all the things that I have been experiencing. So I just want to tell y'all thank you. Um Also, y'all, what are y'all planning to do this weekend? Hit me up if you watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. Tell me what your plans are for this weekend. Tell me what you've been doing and what you've had going on. So I don't know if you all know, but Tyler Perry has a new movie coming out on Netflix called Ruth and Boaz. And if y'all have been following me for quite some time, especially this year, then you know that Ruth and Boaz has been my sentiments all year long. I'm really resonating with Ruth in this season of my life. And so when I think about Ruth, I think about her loyalty. I think about her courage, how bold she was. I think about her humility and her desire to serve. You know, when she made the decision to go with her mother-in-law despite losing her husband, and her mother-in-law saying, "Hey, I can't take care of you. You need to be somewhere where someone can take care of you. You know, go remarry, go live your life, go move on." And Ruth was like, "No, I'm going to support you. I'm going to be here with you." Ruth changed her life around. Ruth humbled herself. Ruth humbled herself. Ruth got in the fields. Ruth was working her butt off, and she had so much faith in God. She did not quit. She remained obedient. She kept trusting in Him, and she kept trusting in the fact that it was her responsibility to stay in support of her mother-in-law despite the circumstances. One thing I imagine it like this, like Ruth telling her mother-in-law, "You're not going through this by yourself. We're in this together." And so we rocking and we rolling and we moving through. And that's why I like Ruth. You know, she's down. She is someone that brought trust, and it caught her. It caused her to be noticed. You know what I'm saying? It caught the attention of somebody, someone who saw all of her characteristics and saw how much of a hard worker she was, and saw how trusting she was and faithful and loyal she was. And this person was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of Ruth. I'm gonna show up for Ruth. I'm gonna send people to help Ruth in her pursuits because I see her and I see what she's going through." And you know who that person was, y'all? Boaz. I'm talking about, it was a good man. A good man showed up to change the trajectory of Ruth's life and her path, and to, I would say, to add to it, you know, because she's already this amazing woman and she already has these really, really great qualities. She just in the field hustling, baby. She just, you know, if Ruth is like Courtney, baby, a little bit tired right now, you know, very trusting in God, very loving, believing, but a little tired. I could I could use someone showing up for your girl and adding a little bit of extra love and a little bit of extra support and a little bit of extra um, uh, encouragement, you know, encouragement, and just to have somebody there and support. Because, you know, when you out here hustling and doing your thing, it gets a little hard. And so I am really excited and I'm really looking forward to checking out the new movie that's coming out on Netflix. I'm not gonna do too much promoting of it, y'all. Y'all can definitely Google it to learn more about it. And definitely watch the trailer. I think it's gonna be really, really cute. I think it's going to be really, really fun. I like this modern spin on Ruth and Boaz. They have some beautiful people in the movie, y'all. So definitely go and check it out. That's probably what I want to be doing tonight. And I'm probably also not only just going to be watching Ruth and Boaz, I'm likely going to write an article on it just to go a little bit more into details about like what I mean with the story of Ruth and Boaz and what it means for me in this season, and pulling out all of the the themes in this story, so I may take it a little bit further after I watch the movie and write a little bit. Y'all know I love to write, so I'm looking forward to that. Let's get in today's message. So today I want to talk about being okay with where you are. If you checked out the love note that I did for Between Love and Lessons, where I just did a short empowering message just to be a little bit of a filler between the episodes, but to keep us encouraged as well. I talked a little bit about that, about accepting where you are in your journey and accepting it with kindness and compassion to yourself, because we will be so hard on ourselves about our journeys that we don't even take into the full consideration of our experience. We just pressure ourselves so much to perform and to get things right. And I'm trying to figure out who gave us the right or wrong way to do things. Sometimes we have to figure life out by going through life. Experience is the best teacher too. But just because we are dealing with hard things doesn't mean that God is not hearing us, doesn't mean that He's not going to bless us, doesn't mean that He's going to stop us. We have to learn how to keep going. And I wouldn't even say pushing through, I would say moving through, flowing through life. So today's message made me think about a song by her called Sometimes. It's one of my favorite songs, y'all. And when it gets to the chorus, her says, sometimes shit don't go your way. Sometimes you gonna have those days. Sometimes you'll feel out of place. You can't promise me that it'll be the same because sometimes change. And so I think that's good, even that last line saying, sometimes change, because everything that we experience in life comes with highs and lows. You know what I mean? Sometimes we'll be on the highest of highs, but sometimes even while we're on our highest of high, we can experience a really, really low moment. And so I really love this song because she's normalizing life experiences. And I think that we need to normalize a little bit more of the things that what we're going through, not in a way of like accepting it, but acknowledging that sometimes we will have hard and challenging moments. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut. Sometimes we feel stagnant. Sometimes we don't um, know what we had until it's gone, baby. My mom always say that you don't miss your water till your well run dry. Okay. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes it's not a failure. It only feels like failure, but it's actually progressing. And that's the thing. That's why we have to let me say have a better understanding about life experiences and what we are experiencing in life, so that we can understand too that is this really a failure, or this is a part of the process that I'm going through, that's a pivot and it's actually progression because it's pushing me forward. So I want us to take some time to acknowledge our life experiences in a way that doesn't pressure ourselves and um doesn't put too much on us to perform in this supernatural way. You are not a superhero, baby. You may want to be Superman. You may even use the ideology of Superman, Iron Man, Wonder Woman, whoever these superheroes are, to motivate you and encourage you and to empower you. But baby, you are a human being. with human life experiences. And guess what? You got feelings, boo. You got real feelings, okay? And sometimes those feelings are not pleasant. Sometimes those feelings are uncomfortable. But you are a human and you should feel those feelings so that you can move through them, Because something I want us to always remember is that God has a plan for your life. God has a plan to prosper you. God has a plan to excel you. And I know people get tired of hearing that all the time, but you have to repeat the truth. As much as we repeat lies, we would have to repeat the truth. And the truth is, God is not going to leave you nor forsake you. And that even though you may be dealing with something that you don't want to deal with right now, deal with it, move through it, face it. Roll your shoulders back. Put your head up. Stick your chest out. Face it. Move through it so that you can see that God has a plan for you. The Bible says, count it all joy. Okay? Count it all joy, the good and the bad. Oh, y'all. Okay. So yesterday, y'all know I love to sing. Well, maybe y'all don't. I love to sing. I love to write. I love music. Don't ask me to sing for you though, because I'm not. You're gonna have to catch me. You have to catch me singing randomly when I'm in my zone, maybe in the shower if you're lucky enough to be around me like that. Um, at church. I don't know. I love to sing, but don't just ask me to randomly sing for you because I won't. But yesterday I caught myself singing I Won't Complain. And if you all are familiar with the song, you probably was introduced to the song at church, because that's normally where people sing this song. But I don't know. It just fell on my spirit. It just fell on my spirit, and I just started singing. Sometimes I've had some good days, I've had some bad days, I've had some hills to climb. But when I back and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days, and I won't complain because God's been good to me. He's been good to me. You know, when I think about my own life and my own personal journey and to be 35 and to have accomplished the things that I've accomplished, I think my biggest accomplishment in life is facing my trauma, having the courage to face it, to move through it, to experience the hurt and the pain of it all and to keep going because it's revealing so much more about God and who God is, but it's also revealing so much more about me and who I am and what I'm capable of and what I'm going to produce and what I have produced and what's being produced through me right now and how impactful it is and how life-changing it is, for someone else. Me doing these podcasts, baby, this is going to last long after me leaving my words on paper and publishing it in places that people can access. It's gonna live long beyond me. And so those are the things that I'm grateful for that I haven't gave up. And there's been times that I've wanted to give up. There's times right now, present day, where I be fighting, y'all. I be tight because I'm like, ooh, I don't know how much more I can do this. I don't know how much more. But when I keep going, I am living and operating in passion and purpose. And I know that God is going to take care of me because the passion that's on the inside of me, my desire to serve, my desire to help people, my desire to love and to be loved, like that's all a part of God's plan for my life. When I think about that husband that God's gonna send me, we just got done talking about Ruth and Boaz. Make sure y'all watch the movie so we can tap in and talk about it. But when I think about that husband that God is going to send for me, baby, I'm talking about every heartbreak that I went through will prepare me or has prepared me. You know what I'm saying? Every lesson that I had to learn for making foolish decisions or not listening to myself is preparing me. You know what I mean? Think about the things that you are praying for in your life and think about the experiences that you're going through and think about how it's preparing you. And don't spend so much time just pulling out the negative experiences that you're going through, because I think that's another thing that so many of us deal with. We spend so much time looking at and hyper focusing on the negative and the what doesn't feel good, that we forget that there are some good days and some good moments and some good experiences that make us feel good and bring us joy in this life. Count that too, and look at your experiences and align it with God's purpose and plan for your life. You know what I mean? Like, what are you praying for? And what is God trying to teach you through your life experiences? We live, we learn, we grow, we evolve. And allow yourself to live, to learn, to grow, and evolve. When you quit, you're not allowing yourself to live, to learn, to grow, and evolve. When you throw in the towel, you're not allowing yourself to live, to learn, to grow, and evolve. When you speak negative all the time, when you find yourself in constant doubt, when you allow the negative experiences and the negative feelings and emotions, and I don't like to say negative because they're human feelings and emotions, but they're challenging. So when we experience those challenging things and we uh, fall victim to it in a way that it brings us down, we are not allowing ourselves to live, to learn, to grow, and evolve. Baby, live. Don't give up. Keep going. And so I actually have a reflection prompt that I want you to do. Okay. And I'm a therapist. I'm a licensed therapist, licensed social worker. I am a spiritual mental wellness coach and consultant. I am not your therapist, and I'm not your coach or consultant, but I do have this prompt that I think will be helpful for you. So give it a try. I'm not saying that it will work, but it may work. So give it a try. Okay. But I want you to write down a simple line: God has a plan for me. And then after that, I want you to write a plan too. And then I want you to finish it. And don't just, you can fill it in with the Bible verse, a plan to prosper me and give me hope in the future. But I want you to fill it in with the plans that God has told you that He's going to do for you. Because God has told you specifically how He's going to turn it around. God has told you specifically what He is going, how He's going to use you in this lifetime. You have purpose, baby. I don't it doesn't matter. I have to be mindful of my words, y'all. I'm so particular about that. So I don't want to say it I don't care, because I do care. But it does not matter what you are presently experiencing. If you have breath in your body, God has a plan for you. And so it's not to be evil or harmful, but it's to give you hope in a future. Okay? So get specific about what God has told you and write it down. What has He told you that He's going to do for you? What is that plan? Okay? Is it to teach? Is it to help people, to serve people? Are you doing community work? Are you speaking? Maybe you're working I don't know, maybe you're working in a factory or something. And maybe as you work in that factory, you are the person that people come to for advice. You are the person that people come to for laughter and for joy. Like that is a plan for your life. That is purpose. To be able to just bring someone a smiling face and they having a hard day, maybe that's how God uses us. So I don't ever want you to forget that God has a plan for you. Don't give up. Keep going. Even if you're not where you want to be in life yet, I say this all the time because my pastor that I grew up with told me, if you quit, you'll never see what the end will be. If you quit on yourself, you will never see what you will accomplish. You mean to tell me you doing all of this work right now, and then the next thing in your mind is to quit and not to keep going just to see where it could take you? Don't quit. Pivot. Allow things to change. Sit in the uncomfortabilities, but keep going, love bug. God has a plan for you. God has a plan for you. If you take anything away from this episode today, I hope that you take away that God has a plan for you. Even if I go back to talking about Ruth and Boaz, that was a part of God's plan for Ruth and for Boaz. Not just for Ruth. We hype up Ruth because Boaz showed up, that good man showed up and changed the things in her life. But don't forget that Ruth is a godly woman. She is a divine woman. She comes with prosperity and abundance. You know what I'm saying? Ruth is also a Proverbs 31 woman. The way that she responded to her mother-in-law Naomi, baby, that's a Proverbs 31 woman. And the Proverbs 31 woman is a woman that is fruitful and she multiplies, and everything she touched, she turns to gold. So when Boaz chose Ruth, he also chose prosperity. He also chose abundance. He also chose for anything that he is working on individually by himself to get 10 times better because he's found his woman, he's found his good thing. Let me tell you something. God had a plan not just for Ruth, he had a plan for Boaz too. Okay. So no matter where you are in your life and in your journey, there's a plan. It's intentional, it's purposeful. So I want to encourage us to look at life challenges as a lesson. What do I need to learn from? What do I need to pay attention to? What do I need to grow from? Because a lot of us are not being honest enough with ourselves. A lot of us are not being honest enough. And a lot of us are not saying, I am the reason why I'm in this position because I didn't make better decisions, or I wasn't being obedient, or I wasn't listening, or I was being prideful, or I was being in my ego. Like we gotta get really specific and really clear. We gotta own it, baby. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fall short. You are a human being, okay? And you will learn, but you need to take what you learn and apply it so that you can have different experiences too. But don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just learn and keep growing. Just learn and keep growing, baby. All right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope that the messages that I have provided today resonates with somebody. If it resonates with somebody, share this podcast with someone that you love. Make sure that it gets out to the masses of people. But I also wanted to just take some time to update you all on some wins. So, Cash Doll, Man, K Carbon was in Nashville this past weekend, and y'all, they put on an excellent show. Um, it was such a great time. Shout out to the opening acts too, because I haven't seen many people talking about the opening acts. The opening acts came from different places too, not just Nashville. And baby, and there was a lot of Nashville artists too, so shout out to them. But baby, when I tell you, they had the crowd rocking. I'm talking about I have to go back through my content so I can make sure that I don't miss these artists that were performing because they were doing their thing. It was a really good show. You can tell that Cash Doll, Man, and K Carbon really enjoy themselves. You can tell that they're really kind and sweet women because their energy just you can feel it from the stage, y'all. It was such a good show. Um, so I have some content coming from that soon. I already have some content up too, so check that out. Check out my recent articles. I've had the opportunity to sit down with some amazing Black women who are operating in their purpose and who are creating change in their communities and for the world too. And so check out those interviews exclusively on my Substack. They also have some interviews that are on YouTube, so you can read the articles and then also watch the interviews. Amazing work, amazing work. There's a young woman and a young lady in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where she has prom dresses for our formal gowns for young ladies that are $50 or under, y'all. The economy is bad right now. If you are in Rutherford County, that is a service to use. And so that is one of the interviews that I did. So definitely check it out. Another interview that I did was with a young lady who is talking about identity and the uniqueness of Blackness and our unique Black experiences and how it looks different for each and everybody. So, really great articles, y'all. Really great interviews. Please, please, please go show some love and support and check them out. Again, thank you so much for the positive feedback on my content. Oh my God. Y'all have been like, I'll see somebody out randomly that I ain't seen in a while, and y'all start gassing me up about my content. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for pouring into my cup. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for seeing it. Thank you. Just thank you so much. Continue to show me love. Instagram. I'm popping on threads. I'm always on threads, running off in my mouth, y'all. So join me over there. Facebook. Where else? YouTube, Substack. Just keep showing up and showing me love. But I'm so grateful for all the growth across all of the Substack. All of the platforms, y'all. So thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up by letting you know that Between Love and Lessons will come every other Friday until further notice. So I am excited about that. So you can expect another episode, not the next Friday, but the next Friday. So plan for October the 10th. And then let me know in the comments what you want me to talk about. Help a girl out. What perspective do you want to hear from me? Let me know. I would love to know that. And so, also, I have something really exciting coming up. It's going to be exclusive to Substack. It's going to be exclusive to founding subscribe members. But I did a 91-day fast 2 years ago, and it received a lot of positive feedback. And a lot of people are constantly asking me about the fast. And I'm in this space of wanting to teach more. And so I've created something really dope. So stay locked in with me. Make sure you are subscribed to Substack. More information is coming soon. But it is going to be a space for healing. It's going to be a space for deeper insight. Um, I think you're going to enjoy it. Especially when we think about fasting, we think about fasting in a way that helps us grow. And this is not necessarily going to be fasting, but if you want to look at it as a fast for your own personal journey, I think that it will be very, very beneficial for you. So I'm excited to share my clinical expertise, my background in ministry, my faith walk and spirituality, combining all these things. If you did the 91-day fast and you know that you had a playlist and a song every week, and a homework assignment. So expect some similarities coming with that. So, but stay locked in, stay tuned. You're going to love it. It's going to be for everybody, men and women. So make sure that y'all are subscribed and locked in. And also, y'all, October, I got a speaking engagement coming up. I am really excited and looking forward to that. It's going to be at a miniature or mini wellness retreat, and I'm going to be talking about self love and self compassion and embodying gratitude. And so I'm really excited to actually teach a lesson and to teach a tool and technique that I haven't taught anywhere else. I've talked about it, but I haven't taught it to anybody. But I personally did this for myself, and it was, I mean, wow, I cannot wait to tell these women a little bit about my testimony and about how this activity helped me and how I use my own clinical expertise to help me. And so I cannot wait to share it. So, but y'all, that's all I have for y'all today. Um, so definitely stay tuned. Definitely share your thoughts in the comment. And thank you again for your love and support. And don't forget, God has a plan for you. So keep going. Thank you for tuning in today. And I'll see you next time for another episode of Between Love and Lessons, Unfiltered Conversations with Courtney Arlesia.